Alright everybody, welcome to First Attack. I am James Chen. How's everybody going? I am... Someone joked in the chat, I tweeted out just now that I tried to inhale my food before the show started. Someone said in the chat that it was like Kirby using neutral B. And to be honest with you, it's probably not that far off from the truth. I am gonna have one hell of a stomachache after the show is done, I'm pretty sure. So, thank you for tuning in. What we are doing here is a continuation of what I started last 2 weeks ago. For Guilty Gear Xrd sign came out in December. It is now already March, and the game has been picking up a lot of steam. A lot of people have been playing it recently, and it's really cool. I'm super happy about that. Now, one of the things, though, that a lot of people have said about Guilty Gear games is that they have trouble with the execution and stuff like that. And obviously, there's a lot of strategic stuff that people are trying to get used to. I am not very qualified to give a lot of the strategy side of things because I'm trying to learn the game myself. But at the same time, however, I've always been good at execution. I've always loved doing execution, and I can do most of the execution heavy stuff that are involved in Guilty Gear. So what I wanted to do was cover a lot of things that would help people getting into Guilty Gear, either from Street Fighter or from Tekken or from Marvel or something like that, learn and understand how to do execution here in Guilty Gear. So 2 weeks ago, I did an episode where I covered things like jump canceling, instant air dash combos, I did micro dashing, I did jump installs, I did dust, I did both the air dust and the corner wall dust. So if those kind of topics interest you in learning, go ahead and check the archives on Twitch or on YouTube. I swear it'll be up soon. We will have the information there on how to do all those kind of things. So today I'm going to cover a bunch of different kinds of execution tasks. I've been taking, requests from Twitter and such, and I've gotten a lot of a lot of strategy stuff, and I'll try to cover a little bit of strategy stuff. Again, I don't know a lot of character-specific stuff. However, there's a lot of things like, for example, throw option selects, how to use Roman cancels, and all that stuff like that. So, that is what I'm going to cover today. I'm going to start by covering Roman cancels in particular, because, hang on one second, let me do something really quick. Because Roman cancels can be kind of, I don't know if they're necessarily intimidating, but they're very freeform. You can do a lot with Roman cancels. There is so much possibilities with that. And a lot of people ask me, they don't know how to use Roman cancels in combos. They don't know when's the right time to use Roman cancels and stuff like that. So I'm going to talk a little bit about Roman cancel combos and when's a good opportunity to use them and stuff like that. But before we go into that, I really kind of want to cover all the kinds of Roman cancels there are. So what we're going to do here, oh wow, perfect transition time. Let's get the evil face. Yeah. Dude, that was almost way too well timed. I am so pleased with that. Let's enjoy some Heavy Day for a second. Come out of the way, yeah. All right, here we go. Let me know if the game volume is a little too loud, if it's drowning me out, drowning out my voice. But what we're gonna do here is we'll start with some. The characters that I play are Potemkin and Sin, but let's just start with Soul because he's kind of the quote straightforward character. So I kind of like to show some stuff with him to get an idea of what you can do with this character. All right. So what is a Roman cancel exactly? What is the difference between what is a Roman cancel? The confusing thing about this is that there are lots of kinds of Roman cancels. In fact, in this game there are more than previously. Previously there was 2 kinds of Roman cancels. In this game, there are 3 kinds of Roman cancels. So, what exactly is a Roman cancel? To simply put it, a Roman cancel, I'll turn the game volume down a little bit. A Roman cancel is the ability to cancel your own move. Let me do something here, just input history. Is to cancel whatever you're doing into neutral again. So I'm swinging here, this is my normal heavy slash. But if I throw out a heavy slash and then Roman cancel, you see it, now I'm in neutral again. So I can kill the recovery of my move. This happens for a lot of stuff too. So I have a move called Bandit Revolver here, where I kind of just do this little arcing kick. I can actually Roman cancel that, and I end up in neutral again. And in fact, because I Roman cancel in the air, I can do a jump attack. So that's basically the easiest definition of what a Roman cancel is in the most basic of sense. It's the ability to cancel a move that you are doing into neutral, and then you can do whatever you want. Now this has a lot of applications. You can use it to extend combos. You can use it to save yourself with moves that are extremely punishable. And there's a lot of other little tricky things that I'll get into in just a little bit once I start going over all the different kinds of Roman cancels there are. So, there are 3 kinds of Roman cancels in this game. There are red Roman cancels, which is basically the standard Roman cancel, which is what most people are used to. This was the very, very normal, basic Roman cancel that most people were used to from previous Guilty Gear games. So that's a red Roman cancel. You see when I do it, the circle that bursts out of me is red. There's such thing as purple Roman cancels now, like that, which is what you saw me do earlier. Purple Roman cancel. And finally, there is something called a yellow Roman cancel, which you see there. So, the question is, what is exactly the difference between all of these? And to do that, does the tension gauge always refill? Because can you see the tension gauge? The tension gauge just... Yeah, I don't think there's any way for me to make it so the tension gauge, you can see it stay gone. Let's see. Yeah, see, it always comes back that way. Okay, I'll just have to explain to you exactly how much they use. Okay, so what exactly is the difference between all these 3 Roman cancels, right? Really, there's just 2 states that you have to pay attention to. There's one state which is your opponent is free to do whatever they want, and then there's the other state which is they are in hit stun. Let me do something really quick. They are in hit stun or block stun. So hit stun or block stun, or the enemy is free. Okay. Now keep in mind, this explanation I have, there's going to be exceptions, right? A lot of people in the chat are going to be like, oh, no, that's not 100% true. Of course, but for 90% of the cases, this is true. 2 states. One, the opponent is free to move and do whatever they want. The second state is they are in hit stun or they are in block stun. So hit stun, block stun count as one state, everything else, second state. This determines which Roman cancel you do. If the enemy happens to be in hit stun, you will always get a red Roman cancel. Same thing if they are in block stun. No matter what you do, you're going to get a red Roman cancel. This costs 2 blocks of your meter. So if you look down there, that is a full tension bar. A full tension bar is made out of 4 blocks. So 2 of them are going to go away. You're going to use 2 blocks on a red Roman cancel like this. So what is the point of a red Roman cancel? Well, the point of a red Roman cancel basically is to let you extend your combos in a lot of situations, right? So for example, I can, you know, do longer combos like that. So let's do that again. I'm just making this up right now. This might not even be a good combo, but whatever. I know it's not a good combo. It's a terrible combo. In fact, you'll never see anyone do that. And I'll explain why once I get into the execution portion of things. But basically, as long as they are in hit stun, no matter what you do, you are going to end up with a red Roman cancel. Now, red Roman cancels are relatively fast. When you do them, you recover almost instantaneously, and the enemy goes into a little bit of a slowdown. All the Roman cancels, this is new to Xrd, when you activate a Roman cancel, the opponent slows down, and you have free reign to move. So you can really get a lot of long moves in there to connect. So for example, I have this move here, which is a good move because it causes a ground bounce here, and then I can get like air combos afterwards. However, the problem with this move is you're never going to get it to combo, right? Because it's just too slow. But with Roman cancels, because it slows the opponent down, it also extends their hit stun. So I should be able to do like that. So normally I can't get this to combo because their hit stun isn't long enough, but because I Roman cancel and slow them down, I extend their hit stun so I can get this combo to connect and I can do stuff afterwards. So that's one of the uses of a red Roman cancel. Another use of a red Roman cancel is to save yourself. Basically to save your ass if you do something really, really bad. So here we go. If I do this move here, I am vulnerable all the way down, and I am so dead, basically. The opponent can kill me for free. But, basically, what you can do is at the beginning of it, red Roman cancel as soon as you see the opponent block, like that. So you're like, oh my gosh, they blocked, and you save yourself. You can even do it early enough so that I'm still on the ground, for example, like this, right? So that's a way to save yourself. Another, for example, let me try to think of another example with Soul here. Not any really particular great examples. That's probably the best one. But you can red Roman cancel to save yourself. Now, those are the two primary uses for red Roman cancel. There will be other uses. We'll get into that in just a little bit. But for the most part, you use them 2 bars. It costs 2 bars to extend your combos. Oops, let's do this one again. Boom, and so I can do crazy cool stuff like that. Or to save yourself when the opponent blocks. And now I'm recovered and I'm safe and I can keep pressure going too. That's also actually another really good use of it. If you just want to keep pressure going, for example, Soul can do into Fireball and keep the pressure going like that. So you can Fireball red Roman cancel if they're in block stun. I'll get into that a little bit. So while they're in block stun, they'll block the Fireball and I can keep the pressure going. Another use of red Roman cancels. So, what is a yellow Roman cancel and a purple Roman cancel? I mean, okay, so outside of red Roman cancels, what is the point of these other Roman cancels? These other Roman cancels, like I said, occur in a different state when the enemy is not in hit stun or the enemy is not in block stun. In other words, when they're free to move like this. Basically, this allows you to whiff cancel moves. So in other words, if I am in the middle of a move and I Roman cancel, out comes a purple Roman cancel instead of a red Roman cancel, right? Now, for those of you who aren't too well attuned into fighting games and stuff like that, this is a very common concept. Go to youtube.com/UltraChenTV and look for a video called Frame of Mind. And it's one of my earliest first attacks, so it's going to look really ghetto and everything like that. But I explain the difference between startup, active, and recovery frames. Now again, this is not the case for 100% of the moves in this game. But for the most part, whether you get a yellow Roman cancel or a purple Roman cancel is dependent on if you are in your startup, active, or recovery frames. Startup frames will almost always give you a yellow Roman cancel. So if I do standing heavy like this and cancel immediately into a Roman cancel, I get a yellow Roman cancel. In fact, if I just stand here and just do it, I get yellow Roman cancels. And this is actually strangely useful. We'll get into that in a little bit. But anytime you're in startup, neutral, you get yellow Roman cancel. Yellow Roman cancels cost only 1 bar, right? Only 1 bar. However, if I get to the active frames and then I actually Roman cancel, I end up with a purple Roman cancel. Like so. So what's the deal with that, right? What's the difference? Well, first of all, it takes 2 bars. Secondly, it actually has a lot more startup. Like, compare these 2 Roman cancels. You see how Soul kind of like hops in place and then lands right away? If I do a purple one, there's this weird like kind of hitch at the beginning of it. And that's because there's actual startup to the purple Roman cancel. So when I hit the buttons with the yellow one, you almost see the yellow right away. When I do the purple one, the purple comes in a little bit later. This just makes it so that you can't, basically what it is that purple Roman cancels are designed to save yourself. So let's say you end up doing heavy slash like this, you see yourself whiff, and then all of a sudden Kai does an attack. Like, for example, you do this. Let me see if I can do this. Replay, but it's not what I want. I want standby. There we go. Okay, so basically if I whiff, and then Soul, then Kai can basically hit me back, right? So if I see myself whiff like this and I'm scared to get whiff punished, for example, and Kai wants to stab me, like so, what you can actually do is, save yourself like this with a purple Roman cancel. And then Kai's attack will whiff. So that's kind of what purple Roman cancels are for. Yellow Roman cancels have a lot of applications, but for the most part, one of the main applications of it is certain moves. This is kind of what replaced the force Roman cancels of previous games. It's usually used for specific moves for extra pressure or momentum changes. So for example, I have this fireball here, right? This is a really good move because it kind of goes along the ground and it's slow. So basically, if I throw this out, you see when I can first dash? By the time I can dash, Gunflame is gone already. So it's not super useful to me, is it? I mean, Soul is not a fireball uppercut character like Ryu. I'm not going to be zoning people with fireballs like this. No, not at all. One of the main uses of this move is to fireball, which is quarter circle forward plus punch, into yellow Roman cancel. Basically, a lot of projectiles have a larger window for yellow Roman cancel before it purples. I can wait, and then it'll purple, but if I do it right away, I get the yellow Roman cancel, spend only 1 bar, and now I can chase after my fireball, which is great, especially if they're in the corner. Whoops, I shouldn't do that because that's a red, but anyways. So basically, in the corner, for 1 bar, I get this great pressure, and I can chase them down. In fact, you can even do tricky things like that, see? So basically, Soul has a command throw, and I could actually get to him before my fireball does, while he's like scared and wants to block my fireball. Whoops, too slow that time. Anyways, you saw me do it before, and actually command throw him first. So that's what yellow Roman cancels are for. There's a lot of little other sneaky applications for yellow Roman cancels. I don't want to get into too many of them right away. I'll actually get into some of them in a little bit later. But those are the 3 different kinds of Roman cancels. So in terms of execution here, one of the main things that we actually want to talk about is red Roman cancels. That's primarily the one we're going to focus on how to do combos with them and when you want to do combos with them and how you want to do combos with them. I will note one thing. Like I said, if I fireball and then Roman cancel right away, I end up with the yellow Roman cancel. But like I said, if the opponent is in hit stun or block stun, that means that you always get the red Roman cancel. So if he's getting hit like this and I fireball, oops, I did it too fast. If I fireball and do the Roman cancel, it's going to be red. Now red and yellow have about the same timing, so I'll get the same kind of pressure I did off of the yellow one, except it's just going to cost me 2 bars. So, oh, is that what it is, Dimension Kick? My fireball died before I got to throw him? Maybe. That time I got him. That time for sure I got him. But there you go. So those are the 3 different kinds of Roman cancels. Again, that's red Roman cancels when they're in hit stun or block stun. Yellow Roman cancels at the beginning of a move or in neutral, so startup frames or neutral. And purple Roman cancels when you're in active frames or recovery frames. Again, there's some good examples of momentum use out of this. Let me see if can I do yellow in here? Yeah, see, so let's say I want to jump at somebody. I jump from over here and I want to get closer to them. I can yellow Roman cancel the beginning of Bandit Revolver here, and then the momentum will carry over. So a lot of people can use it for momentum like that. I don't know what else he has that can do stuff like that. Oh yeah, that's one right there. So he has Riot Stop, which is spin kick plus kick, which lets him go to the wall and hit you like this, right? Sometimes you can just use this to escape and yellow Roman cancel before you hit the wall. So, you know, different moves have different applications for different ones. And that's a good point. I never explained to anybody how to do a Roman cancel. It probably would have been super important to start with. Roman cancel, so you have 5 buttons in Guilty Gear: punch, kick, slash, hard slash, and dust. Roman cancel is any 3 buttons that is not dust. So I can hit punch, kick, and slash. I can hit kick, slash, and oh, I can't do kick, slash, and heavy slash because that'll result in blitz shield. But you can do, for example, punch, kick, heavy slash. That will work. So basically, in this game, actually, that's weird. Oh, I guess you can do that. Oh, you can do punch, kick, and slash. I'm sorry, kick, slash, and heavy slash. I don't know how I got it before last time. I just must have did it with bad timing. You can do it with any 3 buttons, basically. But you probably want to do it with punch, kick, and slash just so you don't get this blitz shield mix up here, which does spend 1/4 of your bar and would be unfortunate if you accidentally did that. So, but yeah, in general, it's any 3 buttons that is not including dust. So it's really, really convenient. And this actually comes into play sometimes because if you're using one button that you want to Roman cancel right away, sometimes it's easier to like hit the other button. So if I want to do, for example, quarter circle forward plus punch and then hold punch down and hit the other 3 buttons because it's easier for me to do a yellow Roman cancel that way, then, you know, more power to you. It's just any 3 buttons to get the yellow Roman Roman cancel. Any 3 buttons that is not dust. The reason why you can't hit dust is because that will always result in a burst. No matter how many buttons you hit along with dust, no matter how many buttons you hit along with dust, you're gonna get a burst? No, this is not true. Interesting. Okay, there's a lot of priority stuff. I'm hitting 4 buttons at the same time, as you can see on the screen. So I guess if you're hitting 3 buttons and dust, they actually do take Roman cancel above dust. But if I hit 2 buttons and dust, that will always result in a burst. So there you go. Alright, so here's the question now. How do I use Roman cancels in combos? Well, like I said, there's a lot of different ways to use it. One, just extending combos, right? So if I hit him with hard slash, I can come in, for example, I have this combo, you know, kick slash, heavy slash into ground viper, or grand viper, I should say. But you know, I can do, you know, I can Roman cancel my heavy slash because it returns me into neutral instantaneously. And then off of that, I can dash and get more hits into ground viper, like that. So that's one way that you can use it. Another way that you can use it, and it's usually the more practical way, there's a lot of moves, like I said, for example, this move here, which is nice because it gets you good damage here. Boom, like this. And you normally couldn't combo into this. So if I tried to do that, for example, I can't combo into it like I showed earlier. However, because of the slowdown I can extend their hit stun and let me actually combo them. Oops. Boom. And then I can get cool combos, you know, whatever hit. Oh, actually, I know there's, what is it? Let's see if I can do some dust loops here. Okay, I was watching IG do this all day, but I'll do it some other time. But that's one of the very practical uses of red Roman cancels, is that it lets you get combos that you shouldn't get. So for example, here's another example of this. Normally if I hit him from over here, nothing's gonna combo, right? That's not gonna combo. Even Ground Viper's not gonna combo. This is not gonna combo. So let's just say I'm whiff punishing Kai. So he does stand slash. Can I whiff punish this, I wonder? Oops. Maybe not. That thing reaches so far. But so there, I wonder if I can do this. Anyway, if you hit someone from really far away, I can't get a combo off of this, right? And let's say I really, really need some damage. Well, because of that slowdown and the extended hit stun that the red Roman cancel creates, what it does is it lets you dash in and get combos that you couldn't get before. So let's say you just land a miracle thing like this, and now you're like, oh, okay, now I can Roman cancel and get much better combos into corner carry and stuff like that. Or it just gives you a lot more powers this way to extend combos. I mean, since I use Sin, I can show you a billion examples with that character. But I'm going to stick with Soul right now just because he's kind of the initial character. But yeah, can I? Oh, that's right. I can't do that. Okay, so in the corner, for example, I can do jump, I can do dust loops, right? Which is very useful. But if I hit him from this far away, I can't lead to it. But if I hit him from here and I Roman cancel, then I might be able to get the dust loop here. God, I swear that's what it is. Wow, that's actually trickier to time than I thought it was. I saw IG do this all day, so it looks super easy. There we go. Okay. And then you dash up and then you keep the combo going and such like that. But pretty much that's one great use of red Roman cancels, is to convert combos from ranges where you normally couldn't get a combo. Again, one of the other main uses of red Roman cancels is just to extend combos, to make your combos longer. So people ask me to do a lot of Roman cancel execution stuff. So the question really comes down to is, when do you want a red Roman cancel? When do you not want a red Roman cancel, etc., etc.? When is it useful and when is it not useful? Because like I said, you can cancel any move. You can literally cancel any move that you want. So the places that you can use it are massive. Massive. You can use it all over the place, right? So when is a good time to use it and when is not a good time to use it? Well, in general, like I said, if you can get combos that you normally couldn't get. So for example, if I do this from too far away, that's not going to connect with Sin, right? So that's a problem. However, if I hit him and I know I got him, for example, like, you see how if I hit with the tip of that move and then I go for this follow-up, I get no combo. Literally at this range, the best combo he can get is this with no meter, right? So you're just going to get that follow-up, and that's not very good. That's not very good at all, because look at this. I get this, that's 61 damage. And if I, oops, and if I do this, I get 108 damage. If you're Sin and you're getting 108 damage with your combos, you need to go to the drawing board, because Sin can do a lot more damage than that. So in this kind of a situation, for example, if I know I hit him with the tip of this, and I know I got him with quarter circle forward heavy slash, I can Roman cancel and dash up and keep my combo going. So this is a perfect time to use Roman cancels. Oops. So you can get much longer combos like so. So now I just got 216 damage thanks to Roman cancel for 2 meters. I've extended my damage from 61 to 216 for 2 meters. This is very worth it. I got a crap ton of extra damage off of my Roman cancel. And like I said, this works too. Oops. I'm not mashing fast enough. Like I said, I get 108 here. But one important thing to note about Sin is that you gotta keep eating food. You gotta inhale food like I did before the stream started. So if you're doing this combo and you hit him with it, you can't get food off of this combo. So it's not a great combo. So for the most part, that's kind of what you're getting, 61 damage. That's nothing. But learning to Roman cancel, and then I can get a ton more damage like this, right? So that's a really practical use for Roman cancels. If you're finding ways to extend your combos with Roman cancels, make sure it's worth it. Make sure it's doing a ton of damage. So for example, I can do this combo here. Whoops. What was the sequence after that? So, oh yeah, okay, so here's another one. I should really talk about this. But throws can be Roman canceled too. So Sin, for example, can't get any damage off of his throws. I'm gonna hold up. Whoops. I'm gonna hold up. I finally jumped. So I can't do any damage with him. But if I Roman cancel, now all of a sudden, I can get a lot more damage off of that, off of a throw. So I went from a throw of 55 damage to a throw of 150 damage, right? So in other words, this Roman cancel is super worth it, especially if you have him in the corner, because Sin, like I said, just massive damage from this guy. So I just went to 208 damage off of a corner Roman cancel here. Now, here's the thing. Remember I said it costs half a bar, so I could have 2 meters here. I could do 2 Roman cancels in one combo, for example. You know, I can do multiple Roman cancels like that. Right? So you can really blow a lot of meter in one combo if you want. So let me see if I can do this again. So that was 212 damage right there, right? Now I can use another Roman cancel. I can go, oops, that's not gonna work. And etc., and do this combo here. I'm basically gonna go from 212 damage to about 230 damage. In other words, that Roman cancel that I put into the combo, even though I extended it and I'm doing all this cool stuff over here, is literally going to reward me with about another 20 to 30 damage. In other words, that Roman cancel, completely not necessarily worth it unless it's going to kill the opponent. And that's nice because you don't carry meter over to the next round. So if it is going to kill the opponent, use the red Roman cancel. But for the most part, it's kind of a waste in those situations. Meter is so valuable in this game, you kind of want to save it for other things. So don't do that Roman cancel, for example. That's a bad Roman cancel to do. Yeah, Sin does ridiculous damage. I mean, I can... Look, I've been doing a lot of stuff with Sin, and just you know, bear with me here. I just love this character so much. Actually, what I should do is this one, so you can see how much damage this is. Whoops, missed it. So This combo is ridiculous damage. It's 325 damage. Keep in mind every character has 420 health, okay? So I just did 325 damage off of that. Of course, Sin's not going to be landing that all day. That's a really, really specific situation, and I make him block first to build up the guard meter. So he's going to take a little bit extra damage, but so much damage. Yeah, you can try to air throw me when I do stuff like that, but then what I'm going to do instead is come out with that, and if you jump, I'm going to hit you out of the air, and then I get a big combo off of that move instead. Or, for example, I can just dash away. Just get the hell out of there. There's all sorts of little tricks that you can do in that same way. So, but in any case, as long as you can Roman cancel to get good damage. So let's talk about this move I just showed you. This is an overhead. Reaches really far. Reaches really far like this, right? It's great overhead. But if I do this, I get 142 damage. And this is pretty good off of a full screen, like a half screen overhead here. Granted, the overhead is really slow, so most people will block it, but 142 damage, that's pretty good. But if I know better, whoops, and I Roman cancel right there, I can do this crazy ender here, and instead of 142 damage, I just did 220 damage. Which is a big difference, especially in the case where it's towards the end of a round and you need to kill them and all this kind of stuff like that. So I went from 140 some damage to 220 damage. 70 damage, 80 to 70 damage, probably worth it. Probably worth it. So it's very worthy to use. So that's kind of the story with red Roman cancels. You really want to make sure that you use them in situations where it'll net you the damage that you want. If you don't, then pretty much you're just wasting your meter that way. Sorry, I'm just going crazy with combos again because this is how I do things. I keep missing that. Why? So, sorry, Sin's fun to do. Okay, so basically, yeah, red Roman cancel. Net yourself at least close to 100 damage. 60 is okay. 70 is where it starts getting good. And if it can net you a lot more than that, then it's very, very, very useful. Now, one of the things that's really important to note about red Roman cancels, like I said, when you activate it, it slows the opponent down, right? So for a lot of people want to do stuff like this, right? Where I said, well, you want to dash up right after the red Roman cancel. So I do this and dash up, and so I can get this combo going. So I can be as close as possible, right? So I want to do that. However, this is a common problem, which is, whoops. The common problem, let's see if I can, yeah, there it is, right there. That's a common problem right there. Which is, you actually, at the start of the Roman cancel, like when you activate it, there's actually a couple of frames in there. I don't know the exact data, but there's a couple of frames in there that actually, it eats inputs. Like you can't, it doesn't register your inputs. So if you know you're gonna hit him with this, there's such a thing as dashing too fast, too early. And then you blow your whole chance, you spent 2 meters for nothing. This is very common. It happens a lot. So what you actually want to do, because if you notice, see how he kind of like hops in place like this? Like this? When he does that, you can't do anything until he's done it anyway. So there's no real reason to be too much of in a hurry to get your next move out. Just wait a little bit and then dash. And that will help you a lot. Make sure that that doesn't happen. So yeah, that's one of the weird problems with red Roman cancels is when you want to dash afterwards. Just don't do it too fast and you should be fine. Outside of that, there's really nothing huge to say about red Roman cancels. in terms of execution, they're pretty straightforward. Like I said, once you hit them and such, you can cancel, just do all sorts of stuff. I mean, there's all sorts of... You can get really creative with red Roman cancels. If you can figure out good setups, for example, like this one, you can catch a lot of people because they think you're... I can do this. I've done this before. But it's one of the best things about Roman cancels is that since it's so free form, you kind of get a lot of options to be able to do a lot of cool different combos. You can make up a lot of really fun things with it. But the whole point of this trick here is a lot of times people try to walk under you and they walk forward and then they get caught by that because they're not blocking and stuff like that. I swear I have a full combo off of this. I haven't practiced this one in a while, so because it's just not that useful, it's not that practical. But basically, what you're going to find out here, the reason why red Roman cancels don't actually turn out to be super confusing is because you're going to know the places that you're going to want to use it. For the most part, red Roman cancels are used largely in bread and butters. And like I said, a lot of times they're used in moments to save yourself. So for example, this super looks pretty safe if I get away, but you see how much recovery I have at the end over there? So if I have a full bar and I don't want to die, I can actually go 1, 2, and then purple Roman cancel myself to safety. Oh, because he wasn't in block stun anymore. Or I can do 1, 2, oh, he's not a block stun. Fine, I'll just do 1. Block stun, red Roman cancel. And, you know, allow yourself to keep attacking. So, as I said, red Roman cancels, for the most part, are not going to be too confusing to use. Because once you start messing with the game, you start understanding where Roman cancels give you the good damage. You start figuring out your bread and butters. So for example, with Sin, I definitely know I'm willing to use the red Roman cancel if I actually catch someone off of this setup here. Like this, right? Because it allows me to do a lot more damage if I can land that move right there. So basically, landing this move close up against an opponent is really a key move for damage. Or for example, if I throw him in the corner, I know I'm going to get 55 damage and nothing, but if I have meter, there is no reason not for me to do this combo, right? Because I'm going to get 200 and some damage off of that. So there's just no reason not for me to Roman cancel. So you're going to learn your bread and butters, you're going to learn your standard red Roman cancel combos, and it really stops becoming confusing. You really just know when to use your red Roman cancel, and it's not a problem. Same thing with yellow Roman cancels. You'll start learning how to use them. For example, Sin, if he drains all of his meter on food, in case you don't know how Sin works here, if I run out of food meter, every time I do one of my special moves, I end up like this because I'm starving. I just don't have enough energy and then I'm basically dead, right? So I have to keep eating food to build up my food meter so I can do special moves again, where you can see it lowers. So for example, Sin has a really practical situation where he can eat food and then yellow Roman cancel. Did it too early, sorry. Oh jeez, why did I do that? So I can actually eat food and then yellow Roman cancel, spend 1 bar, and get rid of all the delay off of my food eating, which you can actually see has a pretty decent delay there. So if I don't eat food at a good time, my opponent can easily kill me for doing it. Can he actually yellow Roman cancel this? Yeah, so I have a super fireball across the screen, which costs 2 bars. I can also yellow Roman cancel this, so I can get the approach, but I think he recovers super fast anyway. Yeah, you don't need to yellow Roman cancel that, so he's a bad example. But Soul, if you remember the fireball I threw, yellow Roman cancel. Most of the times in which you're going to use Roman cancel are going to become pretty standard in your gameplay. It's not actually that confusing. You're going to know when you whiff moves and you want to save yourself. You're going to know how to extend your combos. You're going to know how to get yourself pressure with characters like Soul, with Kai, for example. Fireball into Roman cancel is a really good thing with Kai. So in the end, Roman cancels aren't too confusing. So if Roman cancels are one of the things that actually intimidates you, don't let it intimidate you. It's really not that bad. Oops, too far. Too far. There we go. So yeah, don't let it intimidate you, basically. So there you go. That's Roman cancels. Kind of, not in a nutshell, but kind of an idea of how Roman cancels work. So I'm going to take a break, and when I come back, I will go over option select throws. I'll go over faultless defense cancels and other things that people may ask of me during breaks and such like that. So I will be right back.